Hello, BookTube. I am experimenting tonight with this camera. This is my newest camera, and I'm using the movie. I don't know what the word is. The movie place. I never made a movie with this camera, so we'll see. I've made videos, but I never made a movie. So we'll see how this goes. So what I want to do in this video is I don't want to ramble. I just want to get right to the books. I mentioned in my video this morning, which is we're on June the 21st, 2017. It is a Wednesday. It is 9:05 at night. That I wanted to show the last of the books that I got at the yearly Friends of the Library used book sale. Yesterday we boxed up the books that did not sell, and those books go to a local rescue mission to be sold in their store or online. I was told by the woman in charge that if I wanted any books, I could have them free. So as I was packing up books into boxes, I took what I thought looked interesting and wanted to add to our library. So these are the books I got. I got Martin Luther, who was the German reformer. This is his 3 treatises. These are his treatises to the Christian nobility of the German nation, his treatise, The Babylonian Captivity of the Church, and his treatise, The Freedom of a Christian. I got that. I got this little slim volume, Dover Thrift Edition. This is by Henry James. These are short stories, The Beast in the Jungle and other stories. And then I got this another short story collection by Norman Maclean. He's famous for his short story, A River Runs Through It, and other stories. I picked up Calvin Trillin. This is Travels with Alice. From what I can see, it is a travel memoir. Calvin Trillis wrote for years for The New Yorker. Written lots of books. This is a historical fiction by Louis Bayard. I never heard of this, but it's about Teddy Roosevelt. It's a historical fiction. One of the main characters is Teddy Roosevelt when he took that disastrous journey down the Amazon River that almost killed him. Some more Isaiah Berlin, Sense of Reality, Studies and Ideas and Their History. This is Gary Wills. I collect his books. This is his book, Lincoln at Gettysburg, The Words That Remade America. I got that. Then I got this old book. This is the letters of the poet Edna St. Vincent Millay. Then I got this. These are crime stories by John MacDonald. More good old stuff. These are crime stories. I got this Harvard Dictionary of Music edited by Don Randel. I like these Harvard dictionaries. This is on music. Then I picked up this Britannica. It's an anthology of American writers, starting with, I think it starts with John Smith, John White, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, goes up to Henry David Thoreau. It just goes on and on. Walt Whitman. It's just an anthology of their writings. 2 volumes. What's the last guy they mentioned here? John Steinbeck, Ernest Hemingway, John Dos Passos, Catherine Porter, T.S. Eliot, Sinclair Lewis, Robert Frost, Theodore Dreiser, William Sidney Porter. This goes on and on. So I got that. It was free. Then I got this novel by this very famous Chinese writer. I don't know how I can pronounce this. G-O-X, I don't know. I can't pronounce it, but it's called Soul Mountain. translated into English by Abel Lee. Soul Mountain. It was the winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. This is the journal of the writer Catherine Mansfield, who's famous for her novel The Ship of Fools. This is her journal. This is a New Testament scholar, Maureen Mile Tomlinson, The Humanity of Jesus in the Fourth Gospel. It's a novel by Sue Miller. I have this in hardback. This is a paperback, For Love. I really like Sue Miller. This is a novel, B.F.'s Daughter by John P. McQuain. I have his novel, The Late George Appley, and other novels by him. He's a writer. This was published in 1946. This is Hugh Wilpole, John Cornelius, His Life and Adventures. I ordered his letters are coming out, selected letters, at the end of this month. Hugh Wilpole. Then I picked up this book on New Testament studies, New Testament Foundations, A Guide for Christian Students, Volume 2, The Acts, the Epistles, and the Apocalypse by Ralph E. Martin. He's a very famous evangelical New Testament scholar, Ralph P. Martin. I have several books by him. This is a handbook for evangelical theologians. This is a biographical sketch of evangelical theologians, Gordon Clark, John Murray, for example, Bernard Ram, H. Carl F. Henry. These are all evangelicals, very conservative theologians. And I picked up this book, the Bodhisattva Archetypes, Classic Buddhist Guides to Awakening and Their Modern Expression by Taigen Daniel Leighton. I look at books on Buddhism once in a while. This is Ron Hansen, Desperadoes, a novel. I have his novel. I have another novel by him. It's Marionette in Ecstasy by him. Get these out of the way. And this is Ernest Hemingway, The Dangerous Summer. This is about his bullfighting in Spain. Wallace Steiger, Willow, A History, A Story, Memory of the Last Plains Frontier. I already have this, but I like the cover. This is another Wallace Steiger, Joe Hill, a biographical novel. I have this in hardback, but I like this cover. This is Tai-Pan by James Clavell. I also picked up King Rat by him, by James Clavell. And I picked up these 3 volumes, The Creeds of Christendom by Philip Schaffer. These are on the Christian creeds, Heidelberg Catechism, the Formula of Concord, Westminster Confession of Faith. It has the Form of Concord, which is a Lutheran confession. Different confessions and creeds throughout church history. This is the Canons of Trent, the Vatican Council, Orthodox Confession of the Eastern Church. So I got those 3 volumes. Picked up the Teachings of Don Juan Carlos Castana. This was a book that was really back in the 70s when I lived in California on the streets of Berkeley. His writings everybody was reading them about taking peyote, and I don't know, I just got it because I collect things from the past. This is Music, Brain, and Ecstasy. How music captures our imagination by Robert Jordan. And I picked up Volume 1 of the Gulag Archipelago by Skuskinsky. I can't pronounce it. I have Volume 2. I didn't have this Volume 1. I picked up Margaret Atwood, 2 novels, The Life Before Man and Cat's Eye. I had 2 old paperbacks. Now I have both of those novels in hardback. And lastly, I picked up T.C. Boyle's Stories, Volume 2. T.C. Boyle is one of my favorite writers. I have his first volume of short stories. This is his second volume. So that's what I got on the third round of the Friends of the Library used book sale. So now I can put these down in the lower level and try to find some space for them. So that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I made a video this morning and nothing else to add. So until next time, I hope this thing films because this is an experiment. Bye.